story?
Maybe wants a story.
You know, bear story?
Mm.
I got kind of a new bear story. I was up at Heart Lake, and it's a 3 mile hike down to Clear Creek where I had a fishing camp. And I was supposed to meet Linda and Richard there. They come from town on the four-wheeler. Then I had a little boat there. They cross, and we stay at the camp and catch fish and what have you. So I'm walking down there, and I'm in a valley I named Sweat Valley along this little creek, and I looked. There was a log across the creek, and it was all matted down. I go, looks like a bear's been hanging around here. And no sooner than I said that, the grizzly bear jumped on the stump and started to growl at me, and had his ears back and his head down. So I had my 300 Winchester Mag bolt action. I already always have one in the chamber, and I pulled up and I shot. And that bear flipped off that stump and he ran up the creek, and then he came back. So I freaked out, went to rack the bolt, and I pulled the bolt right out of the gun. And now I'm a little concerned. So I ran behind this giant cottonwood tree, and I can't see that good. I'm trying to put the bolt back, and I'm thinking I'm going to die because of this Walmart gun. And then I remembered you have to push a little lever, and I got there and I got it bolted in, pulled it up, and the bear died right under the stump that I shot him at. And that was fun on that one, and so it was perfect with the log across the tree because I skinned him and I threw his hide over it, and I could flesh him good, and I chopped him all up in the river, rinsed it off good, and that's kind of bloody. And I got to the river, and Richard was there, and he goes, "Any problems?" I go, "Well, just about a 400-pound problem." So I told them the story, and they were laughing, and we went over there and packed the bear back, the hide and the skull, all the meat. And that night we had Fred Flintstone bear ribs on the fire that were really good. And then I gave Richard the hide, the skull, and the rest of the meat, and then I packed the ribs back to Heart Lake. And when I got up there, and Gail and I had put them in the pressure cooker and had them for supper. And Richard's got the hide, and he made burger and all that out of that little bear. It was a little young grizzly bear, and there were salmon in the creek, and he was still good to eat. So
yeah, everyone says they're nasty when they eat fish.
Yeah,
but that's not true.
He was chasing the fish around when right there in the same spot where I shot him. So, but it was a young one. I imagine the old bear would be bad, but a young grizzly bear really good to eat. So everybody wastes them in the springtime. When they come out of the den, they haven't been in anything but berries the last thing, and then they shoot them, these great white hunters, and they leave all that meat go to waste.